Hey guys, thank you so much for coming to watch this little video. My name is Lucia and I am the owner of Nails by Lucia Y. You can find me like this on Instagram, and I'm going to show you how to do these cute kind of like Monet inspired nails. I did want to show you also what I ended up doing for the additional corners or the additional fingers. Just a little bit of a chrome accent here at the end of that nail, and then a couple of like flowers, chrome flowers there. So that will be kind of like what's finishing this set, but the tutorial is only going to be about these nails right here. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is 2 coats of this Medusa Queen's Only number 52 polish. It's I would say semi-sheer purple color, super cute, but essentially I do 1 layer, cure 60 seconds, and then I go on to the second layer, cure another 60 seconds. Then in my little paper palette, I'm using both of these Mia Secret gel paints, white and black, and then those greens that you see me pointing in there are from the MPA palette. So what you see me doing here is with a little makeup sponge, I just grab some of that white. I do like it to be thick because it's just easier to apply and to manipulate how much and how little color you want. So I'm just putting some white there so that way with the purple background, I can have some lighter and darker sections. Obviously, when I put the green on top, then the darker sections are going to look darker green and the lighter sections are going to look lighter green. Even though we're still using different tones of greens, I feel like the white definitely does help. And this obviously takes time. I tried not to speed it too much up or not to cut off too much areas. I wanted to show you kind of like in real time how long it takes and how much back and forth I do go. I feel like videos like that are most helpful to me, so that's what I wanted to bring to the table for you guys as well. All right, so this is what the nail looks like. I'm gonna cure for 60 seconds and get it ready for the second round. Okay, so this is the second round of the white gel paint. I'm just again going to just put a little bit more paint on areas that I want to be lighter or brighter, just because it's going to help add the depth to the nail later on that I want it to have. For the end result. So again, this is up to your liking, no right or wrong, just go and have fun with it. And this is what it looks like at the end. Go ahead and cure it for 60 seconds, and now we're gonna start with the greens. So I always like to start with the lighter to darkest color. I feel like that just helps it blend a little better and not muddy up the colors too much. So I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna put the lighter green. And I want to do the lighter colors to the left and kind of bring a little bit of darkness to the right side of the nail. So you're going to see me kind of like patting it, different areas of the nails, load up my little sponge multiple times to give some areas a little bit more of that paint than others. That way, again, it helps with the dimension towards the end, and that's just kind of like the look that I like. So you blend some areas more and then maybe leave some areas a little bit less blended, a little bit chunkier, if you will. I feel like that just gives it a little bit more of like a personality. All right, so now we're going to move on to a darker tone of green, and you'll see me go back and forth eventually with all the colors, but yeah, so this darker green, I wanted to concentrate on the right side of the nail because that's the side that I want it to be the darkest. So I'll just start blending and again adding a little bit more color in some areas, less colors, blend more in some, blend less in some, and just to give it that final look. Now I'm moving on to a different, more muted, kind of like dark green, and I'm doing exactly the same steps. Again, this has to be to your liking. Not all the nails are going to look the same. This is a style that I feel like you can never have two of the same just because of how much blending you're doing. So just have fun with it, play around, see what looks best to you, and just blend the colors. They look gorgeous when they blend in the different dimensions and all of that. All right, so what I'm going to do now, just because I wanted to add a little bit of a darker green, but I didn't quite have that color, I'm mixing my darkest green with a tad bit of black. And just remember, just a drop, because black is such an intense color that it can really throw off any other colors drastically if you overdo it. So I'm just mixing with a little bit of black, and then I'm adding a tad bit of clear, just so that it's not that opaque, so it can kind of give like a glaze look, if you will, of that color instead of like a completely pigmented one. And I'm just going to start dotting down that to the right of the nail, again to help with that dimension. I wanted that side to be the darkest, and I'm just going to continue doing what I've been doing for the past 5 minutes. Okay, so now that I'm finally satisfied, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the lily pads. I'm using this darker muted green that's in between both of these colors. And then the brush is nothing special. As you saw, it was just kind of like an old brush that got cured. I didn't throw it away. And that it ended up being amazing for this kind of style of nail art. So I'm just, again, with that color, I'm just doing like little lines. And because the brush cured in such a way that the bristles are like hard and open, it just makes it more organic, and I feel like it looks great with what I'm doing here. As you can see, it's nothing perfect. It's not a single line. It's not an oval or circle. I'm literally just putting the paint from left to right, and with the brush, it helps me leave kind of like little strokes, if you will. I just love how it looks. Okay, so now with that lighter green that you're seeing there, the middle green, I'm just going to be stroking on the bottom of that lily pad, again, to add some depth to the painting. And I'm gonna do that on all of the little lily pads. Now with that mixture that we did of dark green, a tad bit of black, and then the clear, we're going to go ahead and with that same brush, just give it a little bit, again, more dimension by going around certain parts of the lily pad. As you can see here, nothing perfect, very organic, however you want it to look. No specific pattern, just kind of circling it a little bit, not completely. Again, it just makes it look, in my opinion, it makes it look nicer. And then here I'm just blending in a little bit with that same color, just adding it here and there. I'm adding a little bit extra of the light green because why not, right? Again, this is a design that you can have fun with. You can do whatever you want. Every nail looks a little different. And I feel like that's what makes this design so special. And then this is what I'm happy with now. And then for the flowers, we're going to be using those two pinks that I have right there, bottom and middle pink. I'm going to use the lighter pink first, and as you can see, same brush. I love this brush. It was made on accident, but I would say even like if you have a brush that you're about to throw away, I promise you can use it for something. But so again, with this brush, I'm just doing the little strokes and kind of filling it in the middle, and I'm going to continue doing that each flower on top of each water lily pad. So I'm just going to, again, do it on all of the ones that I've drawn already. Now with the same light pink, I'm grabbing my Macart #1 brush, super thin. Again, that same pink. And I'm just drawing little kind of like feathery strokes to kind of make like little tips. Again, we're using the same color here. Do not change your pink. And just make sure you do this on every single flower. I am not curing the nail, but I am grabbing the darker pink and I'm just loading my brush, and I am going to add that darker pink, doing the same thing that we were just doing, kind of like adding accents of little feathery strokes to, again, every single flower that we have here. Now we're moving on to the chrome, and this is just the non-stick matte for chrome that I use. I got this off of Temu. I think it was like $3. Obviously you use whichever one you prefer, but this is what the nail looks like matte now. And then I'm going to wipe it off just with some Young Nail Swipe to make sure there's no tackiness left over. Then for this specific step, I am using the black from the MP8 palette. I'm using my Melody Susie 9mm brush, which is a little bit thicker than the Macart one that I had. But truly this brush I use for absolutely everything. And my favorite one is the Melody Susie 11mm, but I lost it. I don't know where it's at, and I just have to get another replacement of the whole set. It's actually not expensive. I think I bought it at $20, but since then they brought it down to like, I think $10 on Amazon. But anyway, so I'm just kind of like outlining the bottom of the tip where I want to have the chrome. I'm going to continue doing that. Obviously be very careful. You want to make sure that the line is perfect, because wherever you're going to put this black gel paint, that's where the chrome's going to stick. Okay, if you don't have the MPA palette, you can use any like non-wipe black gel paint. Make sure it is gel paint, however, because it just looks better. If you use regular gel polish, it might spread, it might smear. I feel like the cleanliness of what you're drawing doesn't stay unless you work quick, and some blacks are just not very good. So the MPA palette is amazing. Also the Mia Secret gel paint, I love that one. That one does not move anywhere. But anyways, I'm just drawing the design that I want, a little swirl towards the tip. Okay, and at this point, with the same black and same brush, we're just going to do little strokes in the flowers, and this is just going to, I feel like, elevate the look by adding chrome to the flowers as well. Alright, so now that we've cured for 30 seconds, I always make sure to cure it 30 seconds. You're going to apply the chrome of your choice. In this case, I've added gold just because it looks more elegant in my opinion. This is no specific chrome, it's just chrome that I purchased off of a set on Amazon. Once I'm done with my glove, I'm just going to rub over the chrome to make sure that everything sticks well and then any extras are out. You can do that with a little makeup sponge as well, just make sure it's clean. Now for encapsulation or chrome, I love using the Gaoi brand of like base coat and top coat. For all my other nails, I love using the Koopa, so it just depends on what I'm doing. But I am adding a nice layer of base coat just to encapsulate all of the chrome, curing for 60 seconds. Then moving on to the Gaoi top coat, and again curing for 60 to 90 seconds. Okay, so now we're done with the main nail. Super happy with how it turned out. I just wanted to show you guys a different quick version of this, doing a little Frenchie with a very similar design. So right here I'm using Fazan's 330. That's my absolute favorite nude color. You do need 3 layers of this for pigmentation. So I'm just going to show you just super quick, hopefully super quick, how you can do this similar design again with a Frenchie. So I first drew a little outline, and then I'm filling it in with the same purple, the Medusa Queens Only number 52, and I'm just doing one layer for this Frenchie. So once we do our Frenchie, we of course cure for 60 seconds, and we're doing the exact same thing. We're grabbing some of that gel paint white, and we're just patting it onto the nail. Again, some places a little bit more pigmented, some other places a little bit more blended. To your liking, you're going to cure it for 60 seconds and do a second layer, just like we did for that first main nail. We're gonna do the exact same thing. Then with the same sponge, we're going to move on to that light green. Again, we want to start lighter to darker, and you're going to pick where you want that lighter green to be. Again, you can put or deposit more paint on some areas, less paint on others, blend more on some, blend less on some, just so it can have that organic feel. With that darker green, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to place it wherever we like, however we like it to look. And at this point, we're going to use all the same greens that we did for the first nail, just however you'd like to mix them. I just always recommend going lighter to darker, and then just again, whichever design you'd like to do. So once we're done, we're going to grab that muted green that we used for the first nail, and we're going to start drawing our lily pads just like we did on the first nail. Obviously, because this is a smaller space, you want to draw them a tad bit tinier, and obviously less quantity of them. We're going to grab that darker green and start going around it again to just give it a little bit more depth, as we did with the first nail as well. And then we're going to move on to drawing the flowers. Because this is such a small space, I'm not going to be using that cured brush to draw the flowers, but instead I'm using the Macart number 1 brush, the really tiny brush. I'm grabbing that lighter pink, and I'm just forming the little flowers. And I believe on this nail I only did two flowers, I believe. I'm turning the nail around just so that I can grab again with that lighter pink little pieces of paint, just flicking it out as to create the longer petals. And now grabbing the darker pink, I'm just going to add little highlights of, again, that little flick, just to add depth to the flowers. Once we're happy with the design, we cure for 60 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and apply that matte top coat that repels chrome. And then with the black of the MPA palette, we're going to start drawing the little accent where the gold chrome is going to stick to for the little flowers. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and with that same black, just draw my Frenchy line and add a couple of the signs that I wanted to add as well. I'm going to cure for 30 seconds only, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply my chrome only after I've cured. I just wanted to also mention that every black paint or gel paint is a little different. Also, depending on your lamp, curing times may vary. So just make sure you play around and kind of see what works best for you. Then I'm going to go ahead and apply a base coat and then a layer of a top coat. And this is the final result. I hope you guys enjoyed and thank you so much for watching. Bye!